All right, so good afternoon again. I still have my water, like I said, a little bit sick, but will be good. So let's start with two good news. I like giving good news, right? The first good news is we have a quiz next week. Yeah, it's not a good news. I mean, this is the third chapter, so you're supposed to have, normally you're supposed to have it this week, right? But since I'm a nice guy, I decided to put it, the following week. So we have a quiz next week, chapter 1 and 2, should be easy. Okay? All right, the second good news, we have two special guests, right? So we have our son on the back, Penuel. Don't ask me any question today. And then we have Francisca. Want to say hello? She's from Germany. She took my class. When was that?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So she came back to Korea to visit some of her friends, and she decided to attend this class. So happy to have you around. So today we have the second part on nutrition assessment. Okay. Hopefully we can finish it today, and maybe have like a study guide together. Okay. All right. So going back to where we left. So what did I say? We need to do the nutrition assessment to really see the well-being of the population. Remember the key element we were studying was like food security, right? Everybody still remember what is food security? So we want to make sure that people have what? Sufficient, right? What else? Nutritious and? Sufficient, nutritious and what? And safe food. When was that? Our time, right? You guys are not getting ready for the quiz? It's next week. Alright? So then, we do it in different ways. So we want to identify individuals or population groups who are malnourished. Right? Malnourished, the word hidden here is what? Malnutrition. So, what did we say about malnutrition? It has two elements. Alright? Two components. The first one is what? Undernutrition. And the second one is overnutrition. So, we said that undernutrition, right, we have the body mass index that is below 18.5. And overnutrition, the body mass index is what? Over 30. Over 30. Are you guys guessing?
No.
Everybody sleeping? No. You want to go home right now? We just started, right? Okay, so we're gonna look at those things. I will show you the method. How do we do nutrition assessment? So if you go on Google, I wrote some articles on it. You can just put my name, Kevin, or whatever. So you will see some articles that I write about the subject, okay, and how we can do the population. So at that time, we investigated the foreign population in Korea. So we can choose a group of people, all right, and we want to see if these people are at risk of developing malnutrition, okay. For example, you want to see what is the risk of these people developing type 2 diabetes or developing high blood pressure, right? For example, I wrote 2 articles on high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease, so you can check them out. All right. So we have 2 methods. So the nutrition assessment, we have 2 methods, okay? So there is what we call the direct one And if we say direct, we can just guess that the other one will be opposite, right? So, and what you call it indirect assessment. All right. So the direct one we go with individuals. All right. So we ask you personally your questions, and we will see some of the things that we ask people. For example, when we ask for, we do anthropometric measurements. Okay. Everybody has the PPT, right? All right. So, and when we do the indirect one, then we're talking about the whole community. So the direct one, we're talking about individual, right? And then the indirect one, we're checking like the whole community, for example, here in that circle, all right? On your PPT, you should see the best way to remember it is just going with A, B, C, D. Okay? So I'll put it in right here for you to remember easily. Okay? So the nutritional assessment methods, we have A, B, C, D. So the first one, anthropometric measurement. This is the one that we do most frequently. The anthropometric measurement, remember, last time, what did we do with this one? We did talk about the body mass index, remember? Or BMI. So what do? We ask people, for example, what is your height? What is your weight? All right. So we take the person weight. In this case, in kilogram, over the person height. Okay. So we ask this type of questions. These are anthropometric measurements. Okay. I'll show you more details. We have the biochemical test, or B, the clinical examination. Remember last week, what did we check? When we checked for these this deficiency, sometimes we can look at some symptoms. Okay, we look at the skin. For example, the picture, the skin of the lady. We look at some of the things that people have. So, okay, maybe he has vitamin C deficiency, maybe he has this deficiency. Okay? And the last one is the dietary assessment and history. Oftentimes, if you read some of my articles, I only focus on the anthropometry and the last one, the dietary assessment. These ones are cheaper. Okay? Usually you do the biochemical test, checking, for example, blood testing, checking the hemoglobin. It's pretty expensive. These are like laboratory tests. Alright? So, but usually we go with anthropometric measurements and then we go with dietary assessment. Beto, you remember the first day I asked you, what did you eat? Yes. So this is when we're talking about the dietary assessment here, just like, what did you eat yesterday? Alright? How often do you eat such and such food? Alright? Don't worry, I'll show you an example in a minute. You don't need to go into the details of things, but everybody must know all these things, right? A, B, C, D. Okay? So everybody must know that one. Anthropometric, biochemical test, clinical assessment, and dietary assessment. Especially for the students in nutrition, if your major is nutrition, everybody must know this one. Because sooner or later, if you have to do more research, you may be confronted to, use some of these assessments. Okay, so there are also other factors that we're not going to look at here. Some environmental factor, ecological factors. We're not going to look at it in this class. All right. So anthropometric is like I explained here. There are other things that I did not put. We take your height, we take your weight. Sometimes we measure the head, the chest, abdominal circumferences. For children, the arm measurement, the speedful measurement. You know, some of these elements are often required, and we have some values that are often associated to it, and often different from men and from women. For example, if you talk about the waist circumferences, for men, we usually say, okay, you gotta be not over 94 centimeters, and for women, if it's over 80, okay, let's say maybe it's a problem. All right, so we say, for example, for men, we don't want it to be over 94, okay? And for women, we don't want it to be over 80 centimeters. All right. The body mass index is the most popular, but is not always accurate, because depending on people, you know, some people have like big muscles, right? So do you know this tennis player Serena Williams? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's pretty big, right? So if you just take her height and weight, maybe we're going to think that she's overweight or obese, right? Because she has muscles, okay? And the second element, remember I told you that depending also of the race, like for example in Asia, what did we say? That the classification for body mass index is not different for Asian people, right? Because we realize that Asian people tend to maybe accumulate more fat, even though the friend is not a big one, right? So then, in that case, being overweight now for Asian people is what? Do you remember? Overweight, Asian classification. 30? 30 is for obesity. Being overweight in Asia.
25.
Yeah, 25 is for the general, is like the general acceptable body mass index for overweight people. But now, for example, in Korea, including even India, for the Asian body, if it's over 23, it will be considered overweight. All right. So this is why body mass index sometimes is not very accurate. So sometimes, you know, we have to really measure the body fat. Sometimes, you know, we really have to take your skin out and really measure it. All right. This is why we put here the skin fold measurement with caliper, probably like more accurate. But when you do a survey, it's difficult to do this, right? So sometimes you just give people a survey and they fill out the survey. So it's difficult to really have people and start measuring them. So we just go with the body mass index. Okay? Any questions? Everybody looks hungry. Did you eat something? All right. I bet you don't look hungry, you look happy.
I just ate.
You just ate, right?
Yes.
All right. But don't fall asleep then.
I'm good.
You're good. All right. Okay. So far, no questions, guys? No questions? Okay, so you see here, this is just a repeat of what I just said. When we look at really the body mass index of people, which is an indication of people's health. Remember that when we do it, our problem is mainly what? Abdominal obesity, right? If you remember, what did I say? So we put obesity here, and we are we have some disease that are kind of troubling us because of obesity, right? So one of them being what? Type 2 diabetes. All right? Diabetes. right? All right. So we have some type of cancers as well. Okay. So we can have atherosclerosis, and which are the problems that is associated with obesity? Do you guys remember? Hypertension. Okay. And of course, with hypertension, is associated with the risk of heart disease. We talk about cardiovascular disease. All right. So this is why we focus a lot on obesity. All right. And when we talk about malnutrition here, we talking about people who are what? Overnourished here. Excess of nutrients. Okay. So when you look at it here, here you have the separation in terms of obesity as well. From 35 to 39.9, severely obese, morbidity obese. This is the category where a lot of people sometimes may require surgery. Okay, and I gave you a picture of the two types of surgery that oftentimes people are using. The gastric bypass. So if you're interested, you can watch the YouTube videos on these surgeries of the lab-band system. This one, a friend of mine did this one. We spoke a couple of days ago. She said, I didn't work that much. The thing kind of become loose a little bit. It worked a little bit, but it's not the best option. As you know, for us, the best option is always to change our diet, right? Change our diet and be more physically active. These are the two best options. Now, the two other alternatives that people have are what? Drugs and surgery. Okay? So basically 4 ways people attack obesity. Number 1, change your diet. Number 2, physical activity. And if cases are pretty tough, then use medicine. And the last one is surgery. Okay. So we have to do nutritional assessment. So we have an idea, and we can implement policies, to protect a group of people. For example, you can see if you go to now these Korean high schools now, you having like more and more young kids who are kind of overweight because of the diet transition in Korea, the type of food that they eat in these days. All right. So the biochemical test, mentioned them a little bit. I will not go into details, just for you guys to know the different tests that have been done, mostly laboratory tests. Okay. Oftentimes very expensive. It's not often that we're going to be using this test. All right. The clinical sign of nutrient deficiency. I gave you a table last week, and we're going to focus on those diseases only. Remember, there are a big number of them. We chose few nutrients, and as we will move forward, because in chapter 4 now we're going to start looking at the diet of the mother, the pregnant lady, the diet of the baby, the diet of the adolescents, and so on. So we're going to only focus on some diseases, all right? So I will not go into details into some of the things that I just list here, but for your information, as a reference, you can just keep this picture in mind. All right. This same as this one when we talk about the clinical examination for the C1, and but I will come back with folic acid, very important, especially when the mother is pregnant now, and why she must take folic acid. Then we look at it, the impact on the baby, especially when the baby is being formed. So maybe from next week we will start looking at it and why folic acid is important. So everything else we're just going to be jumping over it. And the last one, the dietary assessment. This is the one I was talking to you about, all right? That oftentimes we have to check, all right? The 24 dietary recall. Then you have to tell the people all food and beverages that you ate. Last week, what was the example that we saw? The lady, what did she eat after surgery? Okay, so that was a 24-hour dietary recall. 24 hours is a short time, right? You can easily remember what you ate yesterday. Okay, so the 24 dietary recall is actually interesting because it's not always, because depending on the circumstances, if I ask you a question on Sunday and you had a big party yesterday, Saturday, it may not be always true or accurate because, yeah, it was Saturday, it's a party time, so maybe you ate something that you don't usually eat, right? So, and this is why the food frequency questionnaire is probably the best, right? Because the frequency is what you usually eat, okay? And sometimes it's complicated because of the quantity, or what you may call the portion or serving size, okay? So, the dietary story since early life is kind of complicated to get. And observe food consumption. I think I tried to do one semester where people just list every day whatever they eat. All right? Any questions? Everybody is awake?
Yes.
Nobody's going home early today. Don't bet on that. All right. Okay. So here, this is the food frequency questionnaire. You have that on your PPT. Okay. So if you give you an example. For example, they give an example of a fruit, banana in this time. They put here how often do you eat this one. Now, somebody is probably looking for an association between banana and such problem. All right? And so they, you see, for example, here, okay, I ate banana maybe once a week. Okay. Now this is the problem. The problem with not the problem, but the challenge with food frequency is what? Is the quantity. Okay. And I think we were talking about it when we talk about serving size and the portion. They don't really make a difference. The Food and Drug Administration in USA doesn't really make a difference between the two. But it's not always the same, all right? But in this case, we consider the quantity as being like the serving size. Here they put a small, medium, large. But how much is small, how much is medium, how much is large, we don't know, all right? For example, if I tried the large size pizza in Korea, it looks like medium pizza in Canada and US, right? Yeah. So, because one time I ordered a medium size, it looks very small to me, but that's the portion size, right? So, this is why it's sometimes challenging. This is why it's sometimes challenging when we talk about the serving size here. So you can do the same, all right? You can design the already established questionnaire that you can use, and based on that, you have an indication. For example, I wrote a paper to see how much of the Korean food foreign students are eating, okay, in Daegu. So you show them like different pictures of Korean food and just say, okay, how often do you eat this one? Or do you know this food? And so when we talk about acculturation, the change of culture, and in this case it was dietary acculturation. So foreigners, they are adapting to the Korean food, right? Francisca, when you came, she was vegetarian, right? Before coming to Korea?
No, afterwards.
Afterward, you became vegetarian.
In Germany, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate sausages.
Yeah. So, but oftentimes,
My favorite. Really?
all right.
Wow.
I love something.
Yeah.
I love too.
So the that may change. The that may change as we encounter people. The that may change as we move to a new country. All right. And after that, we change our food habits. You know, many foreigners in Korea, you know, sometimes a lot of them like Korean food. Oh, it looks healthy. It's better than American food. And a lot of them have changed their diet. And we were talking about another student who is vegetarian now, right? So after we took a class together, and I think a couple of times later, he became a vegan. All right. So, okay, no questions about this one, right? No questions. All right. It doesn't mean we're going home. So let's review. Everybody has a cell phone. We still have a challenge with the internet here, isn't it?
Yeah. I asked the administrator, but she just gave me the same Wi-Fi password.
Okay, so let's review. Let's review the whole thing. Let's review the whole thing together. All right, relationship between nutrition and health. Okay, I'll control the space here. If you have access, if you have data on your phone, you can use it. So my room number is still the same, 379-483. Okay. So if you have data, you can do it, but I will be controlling right now. Anybody doesn't have data? Anybody doesn't have? Everybody has internet on the phone? You don't have. Room number is right here. Oh, sorry. Let me put it up. Okay, room number 379-483.
What's the name?
You can put any name, but everybody must actually do it. You know, that will allow us like to review and. All right, so how many people I have connected here? I have 15 people. It looks like a good number. So shall we start? All right, I have 5 out of 13 people who answered so far. Which of the following is one of the building blocks of protein molecules? 1 second. A, amino acid. B, cholesterol. 3, carbohydrate. And D, dietary fiber. Kimonso. Okay. Ido. Not again. All right. All right. Okay, I have 12 people, 3 more. Okay, so what is the answer of this one?
A.
How do we do? The answer is A, amino acids. All right, 79% of the people get it right. Okay, question number 2. Let us go. Which of the following is a chemical substance in food that helps to maintain the body? This one should be easier, right? We saw it actually from day one. Sugar, minerals, nutrients, vitamins. We good? So what is the answer for this one? A, B, C, or D? You say D? Somebody has a different answer? 13 people answered already. C, nutrients. All right. 86% of people get it right, so we're not bad on that one. Number 3, which of the following is a plant material that cannot be digested? That was, I think, the first question that Peter asked on the first class, right? So this one should be easy. So check it out. Alright, so if you guys still remember, we have carbohydrates, and then we have the simple sugars and the complex one, right? Monosaccharide, disaccharides, and you have the polysaccharides. So which one will not be digested? A, B, C, or D? Wow, only 58% getting right? Dietary fibers. So double check on the PPT, right? And you're actually right. You should have it there. Remember, we were having this discussion about do we get energy from the fibers or not, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the question at that time, and the debate was just like, oh, okay, we cannot digest the fibers, so if we cannot digest them, so maybe no energy, all right? And all the research, I just say, hey, we put on this on a calorimeter, and maybe the fibers can give us around how much? 2 kilocalories and stuff like that. Okay? So, so please check it out. Okay, question number 4. Which of the following are nutrients that regulate the body processes or become a part of the body tissue? I better remember you asked the question about the tissues, and yes. We gave the answer for that one at that time. So what is the answer for this one? Which of the following are nutrients that regulate the body processes or become part of the body tissue? Complete carbohydrates, complete protein, minerals, or antioxidants? Oh my gosh.
Really?
Yeah. Check your PPT. Check your the definition. You asked the question about. I'm actually having a headache right now.
I got it wrong.
I have been doing Socrates for almost 5 years. I never got 0%. So something is going on. Either I'm such a bad teacher, or everybody's hungry and everybody wants to go home. Oh Lord Jesus. Check it out. You should have it on the notes when you ask the questions about the tissues and stuff like that.
Does the minerals also become part of body tissue?
Yeah, we can double check that. We double check that and see what the definitions are.
Because what I learned is
Yeah.
like protein actually
Yeah,
help body to get body tissue.
yeah, and it's actually right. It is not what the proteins do. For example, when you look at the example of the lady who just came out of surgery, what was the role of the protein? What did you need the protein at that time?
Body tissue. To repair them.
Yeah, to repair. So it is not it is not opposite at that time. But at the same time, if you have to look at some other aspect, some minerals will do something similar too. But I don't have the whole biochemistry about it, but I can double verify it and give you like some typical example or mechanism that go with it. Okay? But I double check. If I'm the one who's wrong, then I will tell you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, number 5. What do we have on number 5? Which of the following is a health-enhancing non-nutrient compound? I think the keyword here is non-nutrient in plant foods that are active in the body at the cellular level. This has to do with the definition that I gave. I gave you the definition about. I gave the definition about plant compounds that have anti-carcinogenic effect. Okay. Oh, you got it. You're smiling.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Yes.
All right.
If I'm wrong, that's fine.
No, it's fine. Hey, most of, I'm often wrong too, so don't worry. I may be tapping my notes and be wrong, so we just double check with each other, okay?
Yes.
All right. Everybody's good? All right. So what is the answer for this one? These are the definition of phytochemicals, right? The definition I gave: plant substance that have possible anti-carcinogenic effect or health benefit. Okay? You get it wrong again? Which one did you choose?
A.
Are you choose A?
Yes.
Ah, okay, that's good then. So we good? So we good?
But actually, I didn't know.
You just guessed. Oh boy. All right. We have a quiz next week, so.
Oh.
You didn't know?
I saw it kind of.
Okay.
Was it one for the chapter 1 and 2?
Yeah, chapter 1 and 2. The quiz is only on chapter 1 and 2, so no problem. All right. Question number 6. Which of the following are nutrients that don't provide energy or build body tissue but help regulate these and other body processes? This one should be easy. We should have 100% on that one, right? A, protein, B, amino acid, C, dietary fibers, and D, vitamins. All right, you went pretty fast, right? So we're going to get 100% on this one. Oh, are you checking the clock? That's very nice. All right. Oh, Lord Jesus, what happened here? Everybody should know this one, right? Why? Why did you guys choose amino acid? Why? Amino acid plus amino acids give you what?
Energy.
Huh?
Energy.
Yeah, give you protein. And protein give you what? Energy, right? And what is the question saying?
Don't provide energy.
Yeah, that's the key part, right? So when we already say no energy, you should only have only 3 nutrients in mind. And when you have these 3 nutrients in mind, you know, finding the answer becomes much easier. Okay, okay? Always take a time, take the keywords when you answer to a question. Alright? Yeah, if you put dietary fiber, I will not blame you that much. But what I also say that we put him in the category of carbohydrates, and that, you know, we may argue that they give us maybe around 2. So for this class, we just going to consider them as a carbohydrate that provide energy. Okay? Alright, number 7. Oh, is it the same question I asked twice?
Yeah.
I asked this question twice? Yeah. Alright, let's go to number 8. From which food can we get carbohydrates? This one should be easy, right? From which food can we get carbohydrates? We good? So what is the answer for this one?
B.
Huh? Oh, you say B? Mr. Choi, what do you say?
I guess D.
You guess?
D is D.
We should not guess, we should know, right?
I'm sure that that is B.
Oh, you are sure that is B? Oh boy, that's great. How about you? What is your answer? B? Is it because I said that if you like me, you could be like Brice and you're gonna be good? So everybody's going B, right? So when you're not sure, you go B. Somebody has a different answer?
D.
Francisca, you want to guess?
No, I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is what?
D.
D.
Dora.
All right.
Okay. Let's
Peter, what did you say?
Because not only the grains. Sorry.
No. What is your answer?
It's D.
It's D.
Yeah.
Like Francisca, right? All right. You guys are right. It's actually D.
Oh.
Carbohydrates. I mean, let's make it very simple. You know, put them category of sugars, like, you know, milk products and fruits. Which sugar do we have in the milk? Do you guys remember?
Fructose.
Lactose.
Lactose. I'm having a headache. Take it easy on me. I'm still recovering. I'm not completely. Which popular sugar we have on the fruit?
Glucose.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Maltose.
Which popular sugar we have in the fruit?
Glucose.
Fructose. You guys you don't want to go home, right? Anyways, then we talk about the whole grain breads and cereals. Yeah, you know, we break them down and we're gonna get some sugar from them, of course. Table sugar, it's sugar, carbohydrates, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's like asking you what is the white color of Napoleon's white horse. The answer is in the question, isn't it? Okay. So the answer is D, all the above. Okay, all the above. And we talk about starchy vegetable, we talk about starch. Remember polysaccharides, the complex carbohydrates. This is part of the carbohydrates. Okay, okay? Just look at your table again. Okay? Don't feel bad. This is why we're here. We're here to learn, right? Alright, so the answer is D. Oh my gosh. Everybody went B, but I appreciate it that you like me, but please, get the right answer. Alright, so deficiency, okay, these are the most important questions in my opinion, and I told you guys have to really learn all of them as we move forward, right? Deficiency of iron could lead to which disease? Iron deficiency anemia, beriberi, night blindness, osteoporosis, or scurvy. Alright, so these questions must be now quickly, pali, right? That must be part of our gospel now. We have to study them all the time. So, yeah. So what is the answer for this one? A. Oh God, who put berry? Lord Jesus. And I saw some scurvy. Alright, deficiency of thiamine could lead to which disease? A, B, C, D, or E? Now the thiamine is part of the B complex vitamins. Yeah, what do you say? What is your answer? Are you sure? You sure? Or you are guessing? You wanna try?
Yes.
Don't try, just give me the right answer. Alright, so what is the answer for this one? Who knows the answer for this one?
B.
B, berry. Alright? Talking about the weaknesses, I'll show you the picture. Okay, deficiency of vitamin A could lead to what? Iron deficiency, night blindness, osteoporosis, or scurvy? C, night blindness. Alright, wow, 100%, that's good. Deficiency of calcium and vitamin D, which lead to what?
E.
You guys know my secret, eh? You just have to go ABCD now, eh? Alright? You don't have to think about it. Somebody got it wrong, so that's good. I'm so predictable. You know, when you're lazy, you just go A, B, C, D, and now this time is B, this time is C. So you know the answer for the next question, right? Deficiency of vitamin C is what?
E.
Yeah, so the first question was A, B, C, D, and yeah. So predictable, isn't it? Okay. Oh, somebody got it wrong. Super. I like it. But okay, so that's it for this chapter. We're going to stop here for today. As you know, I only give what I believe is really essential. But for some reason, when the exam comes, you decide to write something else. So take your time, go through the study guides, go through the PPT, and go through what I wrote on the board. All right? Again, I'm going to be standing here if you have some questions, and then we'll go over it. And I will double check for the minerals one where everybody got 0. And I will tell you next on Wednesday if you were right or if I was wrong. Okay? Okay, guys, have a nice day, and I'll see you on Wednesday morning.
So, when will we have it? Like next Monday or next Wednesday?
The quiz will be on Monday. Yeah. Yeah. Even on the food science class, we see the definition there. Even on the nutrition class, nutrition PPT, we have it there. Right? So I put food compound that are possible anti-carcinogenic effect, right? The antioxidant, we talk about oxidation, so that will prevent oxidation of the cells, so that the cells are not going to basically die or things like that. And some of the antioxidants that we're going to find in, for example, looking at some fruits, which one will come to mind? All these fruits that have like purple color.
Grapes?
Yeah, things like grapes. You have all kind of things like with that color stuff, what we call antioxidants. So that will stop the cells from oxidizing. For example, you will see that, for example, if your blood comes out, color change or whatever. Why? It doesn't solve oxygen. Yeah, exactly. But but I did not.
I decided to.
Yeah, this is the first time. But if you go, if you check even the other classes, Yeah. What's going on? If you check on the other classes, it should also be there. What was the last class I had with you? Nutrition, right?
Yeah. What?
The last class.
Nutrition.
Carbohydrates.
Yeah, that was carbohydrates.
When we study carbohydrates, phytochemicals, right here, are plant compounds that are possible anti-carcinogenic properties.
So what is anti-carcinogenic?
You know, yeah, you can check it out. You have like the cancer there, the part of the cancer there if you want. But basically you can say that has health benefit. Health benefit. But you can check carcinogenic, can like cause cancer, okay? Anti-carcinogenic, meaning like you will stop the cancer part. So you have this here, even this morning class, the full science class, you have the same definition. Class on food science. Carbohydrates, right here. A plant compound that have possible anti-carcinogenic properties. So you have it there on the class.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No problem. Another question. So you have these three definitions.
Okay.
She only has one class with me, so if she complains about it, maybe not you. You have three. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Carbohydrates. Deficiency. What? Yeah.
We don't have PPT.
Oh no. You don't have PPT for what? No, I did not give you carbohydrate deficiency. Did I give it here?
Yes, sure.
No, I never talked about carbohydrate deficiency. Carbohydrate deficiency, no. Did I mention it here? Oh, you want to know carbohydrate deficiency?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Wow.
In wheat? Is also
That's a
yes?
nice place.
Carbohydrate deficiency? In wheat? Observe.
Yeah.
Ginger?
Deficiency.
Deficiency. Vitamin C.
Just take me to stop.
Deficiency?
Is he the professor's son?
Anemia?
Hey.
No, it's my son.
I think I've seen you from the field day.
Which question? Do you remember question number?
May? Maybe May. Yeah.
Which question number?
The last name, your father brought you there.
So you made, what's your major?
I'm food and nutrition.
Oh, wow.
Question 5?
So, amazing that you guys took the English class.
Well, I heard it was, they did good.
Phytochemicals?
I'm just joking.
But your English is very
No, thanks.
Phytochemicals.
It seems to be next. This year. Like next semester.
Oh, I did not teach chemicals in this class? Oh, so this is the first time?
So I understand.
I had to study. I like studying like plants and agriculture, but
This word, phytochemicals. Antioxidant. Oh, I just told him. Okay, I will explain again.
I was actually
Phytochemicals.
another
Right. This is, I said, so in the plant, you have like molecules so that can help you.
You should put
For example, for cancer,
really care about
that
nature
can
and the climate
stop
change.
cancer.
Like, did the Americans
Or they have health.
climate change?
Yeah, but
Now,
the
antioxidant,
school here only had
for example,
access to
you will have
it didn't really have
some
the
fruit,
They have
like
exchange hormones
color,
now,
purple
university.
color.
yeah, but
Many fruits
Like,
with
really, I
food,
didn't
purple
know.
color, they
yeah,
are
I was trying
antioxidant.
to find it, but
So for example, if you have
In
blood out,
Germany,
blood
we don't
becomes
have
black.
study fees.
Why? Oxygen. So antioxidants stop
You don't pay for it.
oxidation.
Well, I
Yeah, so
applied
cell,
to,
the cell is always good,
US.
right?
I'm
So,
going to South Dakota and New South and North
okay,
Dakota. It's really cool. And, like, it's right behind under Canada. So
Oh, whoa.
yeah, I'm gonna stay there for a year and study agriculture.
어때? 학원을 다
And then,
찍고
I would with German sometimes.
그 영양학
Good sausages and good beer.
because if you have a cell,
But you have to distinguish
cell can be
the
damaged.
southern part of the
Antioxidant
northern part.
protect
Very
you
southern part.
for cell not to be
Yeah.
damaged.
If you go to,
Alright.
you know,
So I did not teach antioxidant.
Sorry, or front.
Phytochemical, did I teach
Cities are famous.
phytochemical? No?
Good beer.
Maybe I'm not fast.
Okay, that's it.
So I will explain again. Okay, okay. Yeah.
This is not
Okay.
Germany, this is
Okay.
only the south of Germany.
Oh.
Area. Yeah. So, especially Americans get confused, like, thinking of Germany, you know, beer, drinking beer.